because there's an attack on the elimination of our black males, and we have to educate them. For example, if I can refer to the Eric Garner situation, a lot of people don't know, man, that the New York Penal Law, if I can quote it, the New York Penal Law, Statute 35.27, clearly says these words. This is the New York law now, okay? A person may not use physical force to resist an arrest, whether authorized or unauthorized, which is being effected or attempted by a police officer or peace officer when it would reasonably appear that the latter is a police officer or peace officer. Now, according to that statute, okay, it is actually against the law to resist in any way whatsoever an arrest by a police officer. Now, what we need to start teaching, what we need to start equipping our brothers, okay, with the knowledge of is what is resisting, okay?
Yes.
Because, see, we have a very bad problem called intellectual egotism. You know, that we suffer seriously from that. Now, let's look at the Eric Garner situation for a moment, and I don't mean to make light of that at all. It's a tragedy. Those cops, I would love to see them go to prison for what they did, because I still hear that brother saying in my mind, I can't breathe, and it was just, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the thing is, those officers I shouldn't say they didn't break the law. They used a chokehold, and in New York, that particular technique is forbidden in law enforcement.
Correct.
So they need to catch hell just for that. But if they hadn't used the chokehold, okay, the initial response. See what Eric should have done. What our black males and every black male listening to me right now, when confronted by a law enforcement officer, there's two things you need to find out up front. Number one, am I being detained? Number two, am I under arrest? Okay? If the answer to that question is yes, you are, then shut up. Keep your mouth shut. Okay? Extend your arms. Let them handcuff you. Take you in. Okay? And then sue them later for false arrest.
Okay.
You follow me? Okay?
Right.
Because what happens is once we start trying to argue with the cops, okay, or explain our position, that's when we go wrong, and that's what happened in Eric. Yeah, and that's exactly, because see, there's a thing in law enforcement called the force continuum, and a lot of our brothers and sisters don't know anything about the force continuum in law enforcement. And the force continuum, in a nutshell, the law across the country, from coast to coast, border to border, pretty much states that law. We have to remember little phrases that are designed for the cops, not for us, okay? And those phrases are things like, if the officer has reason to believe, okay? With it. See, we must deal with we must understand that the law is on the side of what's going on in that cop's head at that time.
Right.
You follow what I'm saying? And until we come to grips with that, okay, see, we need to understand it so that we can begin to disarm our adversary, okay, because there's a war going on, man. And the way the law is written, it is so vague, brother, that, at the moment we say to a police officer, what you stopping me for? That's resisting. You see what I'm saying? Okay? We shouldn't even ask questions like that, okay, because it's only going to escalate. The only question we should ask is, am I being, officer, with all due respect, am I being detained or am I under arrest? If the answer to that question is yes, as I said, extend your hand, let them handcuff you, keep your mouth shut, take you in, call your attorney, and sue them later for false arrest if you haven't done anything. Now, the other side is, if the answer is no, you're not being detained, okay, then this discussion is over. There's nothing else to talk about. Walk away. Okay? Don't stand there and try to get into an argument and explain your position. Cops don't care about that. Cops honestly don't give a damn your reason. They're there to arrest you.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Hey, Dr. Ray Hagins. And also, they shouldn't stand there quoting law and citing ordinances and statutes and all that stuff. From the penal code, they should don't do that.
See, that's what I mean by intellectual egotism.
Right.
You see, the scene is not the place to state your case. I've been trying to get people to develop that into a song. And the Atlanta Fellowship, we start singing that. The scene is not the place to state your case. The scene is not the place to state your case. You follow what I'm saying? You know, turn it into any kind of thing to help you remember that, okay? You know, because you will not win. You're not going to win. You're not going to do it. Now here's the thing we must keep in mind, brother. A lot of us get into an argument or a debate on the perspective of morals. Okay, we want to say, well, that is not right. Okay, what the cop did was wrong. Okay, this ain't got nothing to do with right or wrong. This has nothing to do with morality. This has to do with what is legal. Okay, let's look at this tragedy here in Missouri with Michael Brown. Okay, here you have a situation, man, where, and I can tell you now, this cop is not going to be charged. I don't know what's going to happen to this place when they announce that. Okay? You don't think he's going to be charged? I know he's not going to be charged.
Okay.
He's not going to be charged. Okay, and he's not going to be charged simply because, number one, okay, and see, again, this is where the media played with the emotions of the masses. See, brother, the media has had too many broadcasts over the years of law enforcement encounters. The media knows the real deal. Now, what's deep here is the media don't really care about the community. The media doesn't care about what really happened. Only thing the media cares about, brother, is ratings, and we need to understand that.
Yes.
You follow what I'm saying? So CNN actually exploited that killing of Michael Brown. They exploited it, man, because first of all, CNN broke to the air, I mean, all over the place, all over the country, okay, Dorian's statement. And they did it from the perspective of, you know, they edited certain things out. See, that's the problem with the media. They edit statements to present it the way they wanted to present it. So they edited it and presented this boy's statement in such a way to inflame and literally, antagonize the community. So people came running from everywhere because what they use is an unarmed black teenager got shot and killed by a white cop. Okay? We got to understand something, brother. There's nothing that says that a cop cannot shoot an unarmed person if they think that their life or their safety is in danger. Okay? You don't have to have a weapon. So the very fact that they emphasize an unarmed teenager, okay, was shot by a white officer. That's how they broke the story. Okay, then they showed you, telling you Dorian saying, my friend turned around with his hands up, okay, and the cop just shot him, kept shooting him. Now, and I know some people are not going to like what I'm saying here, okay? But brother, when you're standing with your hands up in the air, okay, forensically speaking, when you stand with your hands up in the air and you get shot with a .40 caliber handgun 6 times, you ain't gonna fall on your face. You're not gonna fall on your face. You're gonna fall on your back.
You're gonna fall on your back. Yeah, but Brother Ray, doesn't it also depend upon where you're shot? Because he was shot 4 times in his arm, and then once the last one was in the top of his head, and then he was shot in his eye. So doesn't it also depend? Usually, you know, officers are trained to shoot center mass, okay, which is the torso.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And of course, now you got to understand, okay? I don't know if you know anything about shooting, but when you're when you're a rapid fire situation and you're jerking the trigger, okay?
Yeah.
Your bullets are gonna go to the right or to the left or up or down.
Yes.
You follow what I'm saying? Because it depends on how you're jerking that trigger. Okay, it's not like it's not like on the range shooting a target where you're taking your time, you know, and you aim at the target, get sight alignment, sight picture, hold your breath, study to the rear until the hammer drops. It ain't like that in a combat situation. Okay, you know what I'm saying? You know, he draws a weapon and he just starts pulling that trigger, pow, 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 pow. So I'll be honest, you know, the fact that he hit him at all, you know, is .40 caliber handgun with the recoil to it. Now, the point I was saying is, yes, he got shot in the head, but what, according to forensically, that meant he had to have forward momentum and fall forward. You see what I'm saying? And he got shot on his way down in the head. Now, this, you follow what I'm saying? Now, you know, being the president of the Black Cops Against Police Brutality for the state of Missouri, you know, I have people on the ground here whose names I don't want to call because I need them in their strategic positions. You follow what I'm saying? But the report is coming back. That's the forensic situation here. That's how he got shot in the top of his head. He was coming forward, and as he was falling forward. Now, see, again, here we have the law. People say he didn't have to shoot him that many times. See, that's, again, we don't know the law. And this is why this cop is not going to be charged. Okay? He shot him at the cruiser, at the SUV. The brother took off running. Okay? He got out of his cruiser and shot at him. Evidently he missed him, or he clipped him in his arm, causing the brother to turn around. Now, according to his statement, he turned around and charged the back at the officer, which he's fine. And the thing is, if the officer, this is his statement, which he felt like he was in danger, because this brother's coming back at him, according to his statement. You follow what I'm saying? Okay, and so therefore he's going to continue to fire until the person is down. You follow me? So again, back to this situation with this dude, man, he's not going to be charged. And if he is charged, it will only be to appease the public, because he will be acquitted. And the reason why he will be acquitted is because he did not break the law. Now, people say, Brother Ray, you sound like you for the cop. No, I'm not for him. I hope he go to prison for the rest of his life. Okay? But we have to stop. We have to learn how to think objectively, not subjectively. We get our emotions into a thing, and we say, that ain't right, that ain't right. Well, let's leave our emotions out of it for a moment and look at the science. Okay, look at the forensics and look at the statement. Okay, and based on that, this dude, if he is charged, like I said, it'll only be for political reasons, you know, to kind of make the community feel like justice is being done. He will be acquitted because he did not break the law.
Okay.
And this is what our brothers need to begin to understand. You see what I'm saying? It's like the other brother. It's like the other brother here in St. Louis who had a knife in his hand, and he was saying, "Shoot me, shoot me, shoot me, shoot me." Okay. So people are saying, why didn't they use a taser? Okay. Because a taser is not 100% guaranteeable. Okay. If somebody's coming at you, you know, you may use it. I mean, I've seen people get shot with a taser and pull it out like it was a needle, man. You know. You know, so so here you got a guy with a knife, and you know, notice how many shots were fired?
Each one shot like 12 times, 12 shots were fired.
You know, I mean, they almost emptied their clips. Now the other cop on the other side of the vehicle, his reason for emptying his clip was because he said he was protecting his partner. Okay, and of course, the officer closest to the man said, well, he felt like his life was in danger. The other officer can't make that claim. You see what I'm saying? Because he was on the other side of the vehicle. So, you know, we have to understand the letter of the law and not give our adversaries a chance to use that law against us. That's how we're going to have to win this war, because they're not going to change the laws. They're not going to change it. I mean, you know, I'm in the process of doing my part to try to get it changed, but they're not going to change them. These laws have been on the books, man, since law enforcement has been in existence. You know, and it's really crazy because the law for Missouri is the worst one of all. In fact, I'll be honest with you, I personally think that the law in Missouri was written for enslaved Africans who were fleeing. That's how old the book is.
Because that's where the Dred Scott case took place, also in Missouri.
Right.
So that's
right.
Yeah.
See, and in other words, the revised statute for the state of Missouri actually states that a police officer has the right to use deadly force to stop a suspect from fleeing in order to effect an arrest. Now, that's so stupid, man, because if you use deadly force, how are you going to arrest them?
Right.
But the law actually says that they can use deadly force to effect an arrest. Okay? See, only Missouri would write something like that.
Now, let me ask you. Oh, go ahead.
Yes,
go ahead and finish that thought.
No, you go ahead.
Okay, let me ask you a question now. I interviewed Professor James Small last week. Okay,
yes.
And I know you know Professor James Small. I don't know if you know he's a former Black Panther, and he's been involved he's been activist for decades, been involved in the real movement on the streets. I don't mean just in the classroom, but on the streets. Okay,
and that's right.
I had him on, and he I don't know if you've talked to him about this at all, and I'll send you the link to this.
We haven't spoken in a while.
Okay, I actually sent you the link to the show on Facebook, so you can go back and listen to it. His take on this is that he actually applauded the youth, and not just the youth down there, but adults also, who mobilized and protested against this and brought international attention. Eventually, brought the Justice Department down there, investigations, but also they are doing investigations on other civil rights infractions, of police brutality allegations, things like this. Not just this case, but other cases. And what he was saying is that he said they accomplished at the time about 10 days. At the time we were at about the 10-day mark that I interviewed him. He said they accomplished in 10 days what it took the civil rights movement like 9 years to accomplish. Okay. Now he also said that we need to use economic boycotts as well, things like that, not just protesting, not just in the streets. But do you think that there is a way? I'm not saying that they always use it, because I talk about how we suffer from March Madness. We get mad and we want to March Madness. Okay? But do you think there's a way to use mass protest as a tactic, not a solution, but as a tactic to draw attention to the problem, so you can make people aware about it and then galvanize those forces into your solution or plan? Do you think there's a way to use that tactic? Not saying it's always used properly, but do you think there's a way to use that tactic?
Most definitely. And I completely 1,000% agree with Professor Small's assessment here. These young people, man, and honestly speaking, for that to happen in Missouri, it had to take the young people. It had to take the young people, because the older generation here, brother, is so complacent and zombified. Okay, it actually had to take the young people to say we ain't taking no more. You see,
that's what they're saying. That's what they're saying.
Right,
yes.
and the young people here actually got into the street and let the cops know that they're not afraid of them.
Yes.
You know, in essence, they was almost like saying we got guns too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know,
exactly.
You know, and it's deep, man, because to prevent a war from taking place, I mean, an actual war in the streets of Ferguson. Okay, law enforcement agencies and the President of the United States had to do what they did to prevent a war, because it would have been slaughtered. They would have slaughtered our young people in the streets. I mean, brother, they had military-grade weapons in here. I mean, stuff that I'm seeing for the first time. Okay, they had a military arsenal in here, anxiously ready. Brother, listen, I said to one of the brothers here, I said, man, do you think that they just went out and bought this equipment because Michael Brown got shot?
You think they went to Walmart and bought a tank?
I said, brother, you know, they've had this equipment and they've been waiting to use it. They've been anxiously awaiting to use it. So this was really a rehearsal, brother, for them. I mean, because this is the first time they got a chance to use that equipment out here. It was a rehearsal. And the thing that frightens me, and I'm serious when I say that, brother, the thing that frightens me is, you know, that this, what they were rehearsing for, is soon to come. You grab what I'm saying? This stuff should happen here. Now, the other side of that, too, man, is, you know, these young people, like Professor Small said, but these young people literally brought about a response, brother, from the top of the country.
Yeah, brought them back from vacation.
However, we still have not learned the difference between activity without accomplishment.
Right.
Okay, we didn't accomplish anything. Okay, we had an activity that brought attention, but nothing was accomplished.
Okay, so nothing was resolved, at least yet. Nothing was resolved, no new laws, anything like that. There are investigations, but nothing was actually, quote unquote, changed.
Let's put it this way: when you say there are investigations, okay, the investigations, like they said over 40 FBI agents was in here, all that kind of stuff. What's really deep, man, they get together and compare notes. You follow what I'm saying? They get together and they compare notes. Okay, because you're talking interdepartmental agencies here working together as a multi-jurisdictional task force kind of thing. Okay, they get together, they compare notes. For example, the medical examiner, Batten, that came in here. Okay, now you see, there's certain things we're not asking questions like, who paid that man for coming in here? Okay, we're not asking that kind of question. Okay, who paid Crump for coming? Who paid Sharpton? I mean, when this man jumps on a plane at the last minute, you know how much a last minute airplane ticket costs? Okay,
yeah, you can be $800. Yeah.
Well, brother, to fly in here to Missouri is like $1,300, over close to $1,500 from New York. Okay, on the last, less than 7 day advance notice. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, who's paying these people to do this? Who's paying this medical examiner, this pathologist, to come in and do an autopsy? Now, I don't know the answer to that question, okay, but I'm sure the Brown family didn't have that kind of money.
Well, I do know that they've raised, I do know that the Brown family, the Michael Brown Memorial Fund on GoFundMe.com, when I checked earlier today, they had raised about $280,000 in donations.
That's wonderful. Now you're not confusing that with you ain't confusing that with the white cops donations, are you?
No, because they wouldn't have a picture of the black. No. I know which one it is, brother, because I've been promoting it on the show and on my Facebook fan page where we have 220,000 followers. So
wonderful.
Because I heard people talk about the white cops, the cops, police officers, how much he was raising, but I didn't hear anybody give out the information so people can donate to the to Michael Brown. So I did the research. So, as of right now, $295,402. The Michael Brown Memorial Fund on GoFundMe.com has raised so far.
That's wonderful, man. That's wonderful. The media has exploited this situation to the point to where it mandated. Like you said, it drew so much attention. Everybody was coming in here, man. Everybody was coming in here.
Yeah, internationally. International journalists also human rights organizations.
But again now, why were they coming in here? Let's examine that. Okay? Because we had a lady here, a local sister here, kind of middle-aged lady. And I don't know if you saw this on the news, but her words to the news guy with the microphone, she was upset. She said, because this came out later about the robbery at the store. And she said these words. She said, "Why didn't y'all tell us he robbed the store? Because if you had told us he robbed the store, half of us wouldn't be out here." And they never aired that. And they never aired that clip again. You see what I'm saying?
Now, what's interesting about that, brother, is that the attorney for the store owner came out, and I have articles on this, and they said that nobody who worked at the store nor the store owner called the police. It was a customer there that called the police about the altercation that's going on that took place there. And then also on News1.com, they have let me see if I had an article. They let me see, I got it somewhere here. They talk about, because there's actually a dispute over whether or not he actually paid for the cigars as well. And I'll find that article here. I've seen all that. What we have here, though, as far as statements given, is Dorian's statement about the robbery. See, that's what they're not telling everybody. This dude actually gave a statement that Michael did rob the store.
And that's one of the reasons why he wasn't charged, because in the videotape it shows him putting the stuff back on the counter.
Okay, I'll find it. Go ahead with that thought. Go ahead.
So what we're having here, and all of this leads up to the mitigating circumstances that led up to the situation that's going to enable this cop to walk. That's really the point I'm trying to make.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't care if he had stole the whole store. That should not have resulted in him being killed. Okay.
Right.
But the very fact that the officer had just cause, because after he pulled off from them, according to his statement, he saw the items that were supposedly stolen from the store, and he said the guy matched the description that came over the radio. I don't know why the police chief made the dumbass statement. I don't know why he said that the cop did not know anything about the robbery. That's a bunch of, he needs to go be the police chief of Mayberry.
Yes, man. I was saying this is Barney Fife, because that was
exactly.
He came back. See, first of all, when they first released that, the same day that they released the officer's name and showed his picture, that's when they released the video footage from the convenience store.
Right, exactly.
The Department of Justice did not want them to release that footage because they said it would incite people. The chief had to call a second press conference that same day, later that day, and then in the second one, he said that Officer Darren Wilson did not know about the strong arm robbery and did not know that Michael Brown was a suspect. That was in the second press conference that same day that he came out and said that. Okay, so now you're saying
which was inaccurate. And if you notice, about 4 or 5 hours later, they started broadcasting across the bottom of the screen of televisions that local law enforcement is they're confused as to whether the officer knew about the robbery or not. You follow me? But the officer did know about the robbery. He heard it broadcasted over the radio. You see what I'm saying? When the 911 call went out, he did know about it according to his statement.
So the police chief lied. Is what you're saying?
I think I don't be honest with you. I don't think the police chief really was fully made aware of what was going on. You see, that's the neat thing about these little backward towns, man. Stuff happens, and the top of the department has no idea what's going on. Then he got to get on camera. You could tell he was ignorant as he could be, because he didn't know what to say. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Plausible deniability.
Yeah, exactly. Before he was fully apprised of the situation, he was on camera. You see what I'm saying? But he, as you said, he called. That was too big for him. Like I said, he should be the police chief of Mayberry, okay? Because when that happened, see, that kind of stuff didn't happen at Ferguson. You see what I'm saying? So he called. He reached out to the county to come in and take this matter, which was a wise move on his part. Which was wise because Ferguson is a small little town.
About 21,000 population.
Ain't but a few blocks big, man. You ride through it in 3 minutes. You see what I'm saying? that kind of thing. Right. Shoot. But what we're dealing with here, back to the topic at hand, is I really believe, brother, that if Michael Brown had known, that the state statute for the state of Missouri said that if he runs, this cop has the right to use deadly force, I don't think he would have ran. Real simple.
Exactly. Because when I heard about them running and all this stuff, I'm like, what the hell are you doing running from the police?
Right. Well, yeah.
That's clean.
And it's really sad, man, because like I said, because of the circumstances surrounding this, as not just Michael Brown, most of our situations. You see what I'm saying? Our young brothers, unfortunately, are I'm going to use the word murdered because that's the word that suits me best. Our young brothers are murdered at the hands of law enforcement, and the way the law is written, is going to until we educate our young people, man, about this kind of stuff, we're going to see a lot more of it happen. So we have to start equipping our brothers. That's how I protest. For example, I taught extensively on this past Sunday in my pulpit, and I'm making 500 copies of DVDs on understanding, the use of deadly force in law enforcement, to just donate to youth groups and community organizations and churches, so that they can just take our young people, sit them down, and let them hear what they're not being taught. See, what's in our head, Brother Imhotep, is what determines our behavior. Mm-hmm. You see? And we go into this thing of, it ain't right that you harassing, like Eric Garner, man. He felt that the cops was harassing him.
Right.
You see? And he said that. He said every time y'all come in, y'all want to mess with me. And and he said this stops today. Well, if he felt he was being harassed, that is not the place to let them know that.
Right.
The thing is, go into internal affairs and file a complaint.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Do you think that if we start making a habit of suing them for wrongful arrests, things like that, that then that will send a message to back off, and then you'll start seeing some things change? But if they can kill somebody and then be acquitted, then that's not going to deter them.
Oh, it's not going to deter them at all. In fact, it's going to exacerbate the situation. Mm-hmm. Okay, I mean, because it's almost like in the air now, man. I mean, it's happening so much, Brother Imhotep, that it's almost like cops are breathing, draw my weapon and fire. That's their first reaction. Okay, and like you said, man, cops are not taught to shoot to maim. Okay, they're trained to shoot center mass.
Yeah, center mass. Exactly. And they're not taught to shoot in the leg or anything like that either, man, because people say, why don't they shoot them in the leg? They aren't taught to shoot in the leg or the foot. No police department teaches somebody to do that.
In fact, brother,
unless maybe they're SWAT.
In fact, the targets don't have legs on them.
Yeah, exactly.
You follow me? Okay, when you go to the range, brother, the targets are upper torso targets.
Yes.
You see? From the waist up. And that's what they're shooting at, man. That's what they're trained to do. So I agree with you. Our people need to start learning how to take action, when they feel they're being mistreated by law enforcement. But see, we want to correct the matter at the scene. That's not the place to do it. The scene is not the place to state your case. Okay, exactly. and to every brother listening to me right now, okay, please communicate this to as many brothers as you can. The scene is not the place to state your case, okay? And it's deep because on my website, before I talk too fast, I hope I didn't take it down.
Okay.
But on my website, on WBLR.com, okay, let me be sure I'm pulling it up there, brother. There's a tab that says research. There's a tab that says research database, okay? And on that, under that tab, I have information there on the laws on the use of deadly force. Anybody can go there and download what is called the force continuum in law enforcement. In fact, pretty much all the notes that I used on Sunday's messages right there. Okay. Stating state statutes. And one of the things that I share there, man, is what's called the use of force continuum in a law enforcement encounter. Okay, and so everybody listening, please feel free to go to my website, download this information, and just start sharing it with our young people. Just start sharing it. If it means taking 3 or 4 or 5 young males into your home and show them this. Okay, share this with them. Go to the schools. I'm trying to start, get things going where I can go into schools now and teach the very thing I'm saying to you. Okay, because the cops are not doing it. Actually, that's who should be doing it.
Exactly.
Okay, cops are not doing this, man. And they're not going to do it because if they do it, it's going to interfere with their agenda. So we're going to have to do it. We're going to have to learn. Exactly. We're going to have to teach our people how to respond to a cop on a law enforcement encounter. Okay, how not to look
Absolutely.
suspicious, how not to be afraid, what to say to a cop. For example, if a cop walks up to you, they're not expecting you to look them in the eye and say, "Good afternoon, officer. How can I help you?"
Right.
They ain't expecting that. They expecting what they're looking to hear is, "What you stopping me for?" "Oh man, I ain't doing that." Or either they take off running. You see, so we have to disarm them. We have to approach them on a protocol that they're not expecting, to see that we're not afraid and that we understand our position. Okay, that we understand the law. Okay, and we're not going to do anything that will give them the ammunition they need to take us down. We're not going to do it.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And
we're going to take a break.
That's what's happening.
Absolutely. Look, we're going to take a break in a couple minutes here. You listen to the African History Network show. I'm your host, Brother Michael Imhotep. We're speaking with our brother, Dr. Ray Hagins of the African Village, St. Louis, Missouri. And visit his website, WBLR.com. Stands for Black Liberation Radio, WBLR.com. And you can hear his lectures 24 hours a day. But also on his website, on the left-hand side, you'll see Dr. Hagins' notes on various topics, papers on Dr. Martin Luther King. Look at laws on use of deadly force. Okay, we posted that link in our chat room, blogtalkradio.com/The African History Network show. Share this information with your youth, males and females. Females need to know this also. The war is on African American males, but our daughters and sisters and nieces, things like that, they need to know this information as well. Okay, all of our people need to know. Okay, but especially our youth, but especially our African American males. Okay, because the male of the race is the one that gets the brunt of the racism directed towards them. Okay, because they are the ones who they're the ones who impose sex. As Dr. Francis Cress Wilson talks about,
Neely Fuller, and Francis Cress Wilson breaks that down for us, brother.
Absolutely,
we are a weapon. We are a weapon. You don't have to be armed. We are the weapon.
Because we have the ability to genetically eradicate, Europeans off the face of the earth genetically. Yes, absolutely. Okay, look, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in a few minutes. If you have a question or comment regarding what we're talking about tonight, the war on African American males, the fight against the war on African American males, give us a call, 914-338-1375, 914-338-1375. Press the number 1 key to put you in queue so we can bring you on the air. Listen to your phone, not the computer, because there's going to be a delay. It's going to throw you off. We're going to skip over you. Try to write down your questions so we can get through them expeditiously. This is the type of information that can save people's lives. And join us in the chat room also, blogtalkradio.com/The African History Network show. Okay, stand by, Brother Ray.
10-4, bro.
Okay. All right. We'll be back in a few minutes. Also, follow us on our Facebook.